program says that Bishop Liebert was going to give his remarks, but I'm not Bishop Liebert. He told me I was going to do them before Mass. We look a little bit alike with the same hairdo, but nothing else. One thing about funerals, and Father Mike would always say, it's always a hard day to come to church. It was a hard day to come to this Mass tonight. As his Father Paul just said so beautifully, all those things about Father Mike, all he meant to us, and what a great friend he was, and we did so many things. I got to meet him at St. Agnes when he came as a deacon. He was assigned there. We had a great household. Monsignor Westhute was the pastor. Father Phil Blucher was in residence there as Director of Religious Education. Father Harry Slitt lived there, and he had all the TV, radio programs. And then there was me. Monsignor Westhute said, we got to train him, because well, he's going to turn out like us, so we got to really show him how to be a good priest. I think he turned out a lot better than we did. But anyway, Mike was just a lot of fun. He just always had those stories. We always could tell a joke. You never got the joke because he was always laughing so hard. You would never get the line. But you were laughing just because you were laughing at him. It was just so great. He'd always like to go out for dinner and lunch and stuff like that, and just enjoyed it. When you went out to dinner with him, though, you knew you were going to know the people at the next table, because he always spent time talking to them too, asking who they were, and particularly if they were children, he just always wanted to know about them. The waitress, he wanted to make sure he knew their name and what you're going to say, and then he'd always order a drink, and it was always going to be in Manhattan most of the time. And he would tell the waitress how to do it, and he said, no, if it's not this way, I'll send it back. And he would do that. I remember one of my birthdays, we were at Houlihan's. We wanted a Manhattan, and I think it was 4 or 5 times before he finally got it right. He actually went back to the bar to make it. Then you'd always hear him say, no croutons, no croutons. I don't like croutons. Then we'd always hear about his family. We'd always hear all about the family. We knew more about you guys than you knew about yourselves. It was always fantastic. It was just wonderful. And then Mike had all those wonderful little sayings, you know, Tom, do you mind if I tell you this? Well, Mike, you're going to tell me anyway, so just tell me. Mike had all those wonderful little sayings, you know, Tom, do you mind if I tell you this? Well, Mike, you're going to tell me anyway, so just tell me. And then he'd always, when I had a chance, he'd always call up, well, what's going on? You know, like, I can't tell you what the assignments are, what's going on. You know, you'll find it out in the paper in a few days. But he was just always so much fun. To tell the truth was one of his famous sayings. To tell the truth, I said, Mike, I'm glad you're not lying to us.